Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I'll be brief. My name is Charla Cox. I'm a doctor of physical therapy at Washington Regional Medical System in Fayetteville. I'm a proud Arkansan. I was born and raised here, and now my husband and I raise our 3 children here. I walked these halls in grade school learning about citizen participation in government, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to speak before you today. Both my husband and I have been honored to provide care as servants for our Northwest Arkansas community for the past 13 years. I love my job. I love my hospital. I feel I'm living up to my calling as a pelvic health specialist, and I treat chronic pain. It is so incredibly fulfilling to be able to witness the healing and restored hope of patients in my office every week. However, I feel now that my ability to continue serving in that capacity is now in danger. I'm facing the real possibility that I may be terminated as a consequence of my faith, though I feel better about that after listening to testimony today. Because of the First Amendment protecting religious freedom, never before has such a violation of liberty ever been considered or occurred in America. Several tenets of my faith prohibit me from receiving the experimental COVID-19 gene therapy injection, and it would violate my conscience before God to participate in it. I'm grateful that, unlike most other companies, my employer has been forthcoming, recognizing and providing an application for religious exemption, though I have not yet received that confirmation. During my years in higher education and clinical practice, I've been responsible for both conducting and reviewing research. Although I have extensively read all the studies to date on COVID-19 vaccines, I'm not here to debate numbers or data. Instead, I'm appealing to you as a healthcare provider to continue standing on the side of human rights, on the side of your constituents that you represent, on the side of thousands of people who have reached out to you this week to defend their sincerely held religious beliefs, as you also want your own religious beliefs respected. To continue standing on the side of thousands of community members, like my husband and I, who love and literally put our lives on the line for our patients, who may now be without jobs because of a mandate that violates the Constitution and our conscience. I'm asking you to continue standing in defense of the Nuremberg Code and Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. I'm asking you to continue standing on the side of justice for the people over corporations with deep pockets. I'm asking you to protect businesses from increasing their workers' compensation claims due to employee side effects from a mandated injection. I'm asking you to stand in defense of bodily autonomy and informed consent, as we simply do not have a complete list of ingredients, it is not on the fact sheet, for these injections, because manufacturers are not required to release a complete list while the experimental product is under emergency use authorization. I fully support my colleagues' right to choose what happens to their bodies, and I'm asking you to continue supporting all humans' right to choose as well. You see, I'm not afraid for my own career, for risking my career, because God is my defender, but I will be a voice for those who have no voice to defend their human right to make their own medical choices instead of handing over that right to their employer. Amen. I am obviously not an immunologist, but I do know that there is zero long-term safety data of any sort for these vaccines, as has already been mentioned today. I do know there is zero short-term safety data for people like myself with a history of autoimmune diagnoses. I would submit to you that funding one's own research on a liability-free product while simultaneously projecting multiple billions in profit on that product is a conflict of interest. I would submit to you that the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services coercing healthcare providers into vaccination on penalty of a 25% reduction in their reimbursement beginning this October 1st, 2021, is enough pressure by itself. I would submit to you that it is a false dichotomy to insinuate that an employee unable to receive the vaccine is malicious or ignorant or unwilling to protect the community by other well-documented means. You see, in addition to my religious beliefs, on a personal level, I very nearly died 4 years ago from an autoimmune blood clotting disorder associated with thrombocytopenia, which has been mentioned today, that was a result of a vaccine I received in college. I also witnessed my father, a lifelong healthcare provider in Arkansas as well, nearly die of Guillain-Barré syndrome as a result of a flu vaccine. It would be a breach of medical privacy for employees to have to disclose personal medical history such as this to an employer just in order to earn a living for their family in Arkansas. And it is a violation of medical freedom and human rights to require such people to subject their bodies to another significant risk of injury or death, as the FDA themselves specified being a condition of EUA. Where there is risk, there must be choice. I'm asking the legislature, and I'm not sure how this works, I'm asking the legislature to reconvene to address this issue before the deadlines, after which people will lose their jobs and it's too late. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I know that your desire is for the protection and equal rights of all Arkansans. Thank you. Thank you for listening and speaking today. This is not about politics or being pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine, but about human rights and medical choice, which I know is something we all agree on. Thank you.